Hey guys, one morning coffee here. Just wanted to put out an updated guide on my currency farming for season 2 in Torchlight Infinite. Early in the season, I had put out a guide where I was rushing to bosses and doing the watchers quickly. However, the value of doing watchers has drastically gone down as the season goes on. There's less players playing the game, so there's less money to be made from the watchers from selling the T8 maps in the beginnings. So I've updated my cards and I have a new strategy, and I just wanted to quickly go over it real quick. So the current deck that I'm using is this deck right here. So we use Honest. Honest allows us to get in more maps in a rotation if we get good cards that we want to actually run. We use Reserved. Reserved's kind of like a last minute or last ditch effort. Like if we don't get anything good, we can use this to try and draw some better cards out of our deck. We use the Dark Surge card. I run a lot of Dark Surge. This one, basically, you run this one. It doesn't count towards your progression for the 5 maps, and it'll put 2 Dark Surge cards on your map. I run the 3 Mechanical Trial cards, and these are just in case we do get a Boxer card on our map. A lot of the times the Boxer is very hit or miss, but I do run those just in case because you can sometimes get a really juicy amount of loot from a Boxer. And then the other cards I run are basically just Sharp with Benevolent. It's a pretty standard combo. You're dropping more rares on each map, and you're converting fuel, or you're upgrading fuel. So you're basically able to convert some of your rares into fuel. And then the last 2 cards are just basically for drop quantity. So we're dropping more fuel. So I went ahead and set up all my maps here so we can just kind of take a look at it, and I can kind of show you my thought process when I roll these cards. So like the first thing I noticed here was that we rolled the Awakened version of Benevolent. And pretty much Benevolent's the main card that I'm looking to run every single time. Just the ability to upgrade sand into Flame Elementium is such high value. You'll rarely get the stacks of flame sand. It can be up to 10 that can upgrade into Flame Elementium, which is a huge hit. But yeah, the Benevolent's just like the main card that we're looking for. And then when I'm looking at the rest of it, I just got my normal 3 mechanicals here. So the way that I would personally run this map is I would probably do Sharp into Quantity into Benevolent, upgrade our fuel, and then I'd probably run 2 Dark Surges to end it out and just hope that we got Dark Surge. If we didn't get Dark Surge, no big deal. But that's basically how I would do it. And right here we've got Dark Surge Commodity. It's increased chance for commodities, so that's really nice. And then if we do happen to roll like Gear as the next Dark Surge card that pops up, we've already got Sharp going, so it's not the end of the world. We can actually convert that Gear into fuel as well. So we'll take a look at the next one here. Take a quick look at it, and I'm basically seeing the same thing here. So we do have this Dark Surge card here, which would allow us to have basically 6 attempts for this run. We have Quantity and Sharp and Benevolent as well. And then we actually did roll this Restless Ember. So if you wanted the Restless Ember, you can see what it's worth. It's probably worth about 1 FE usually. So you could run this one in here. I probably would end on this one. So the way that I would probably do this is I would start with the Dark Surge card, which will put 2 Dark Surge cards on on these empty ones. Then I would probably run Sharp, Quantity, then run Benevolent again, and then run 2. Well, I'd probably run 1 Dark Surge card, and then probably this Ominous to end it out. But if we didn't have this, or Restless, I mean, if we didn't have this Restless one here, I'd probably just run another Dark Surge. Let's move on to the next one. And here's a good example. So we didn't get Benevolent. We did actually get Honest, so we don't have any chance to upgrade our fuel this round. We would have the option to actually extend this round if we wanted to, but this is a round that I personally would not be looking to extend. And the reason is because I don't have Benevolent. Pretty much if I don't hit Benevolent, I'm almost always just looking to go to the next 5 maps pretty much ASAP. I do have Dark Surge already, so I don't have to start Dark Surge myself. If I didn't have this Dark Surge card here, but I had this one, I would still run an extra map here just to get Dark Surge. But basically for this set of maps, all I'm going to be looking to do is follow the Dark Surge for the most part. I will run Sharp first, because then if we get Gear Dark Surge, it allows us to convert to fuel, makes it more likely that it'll actually be good. But that's kind of where we're at, with this one. So I would run this Sharp first, I'd run this Dark Surge, and then whatever Dark Surge cards pop up after. This is going to pop up more Dark Surge cards. I would just follow the Dark Surge and move on to the next 5 maps. All right, let's see what we got in the Thunder Wastes here. All right, so for Thunder Wastes, this is actually a really good example as well. We got all 3 mechanical things, but we didn't get a boxer, so I just ignore them. I would probably go ahead and run Reserved here, because our cards aren't looking that great. The best thing we got is basically just running Dark Surge. So I would run this and hope that we got Benevolent. If we did happen to hit Benevolent, then I'd be looking to run Honest. Well, actually, if we get Benevolent, I would probably run this Dark Surge card first, because it's not going to count. It's going to put some Dark Surge on our map. Then I'm going to run Honest. Then I'm probably running a bunch of Dark Surge. And then when we get to the point where we have 3 attempts left, I would run the Benevolent so I get maximum amount of maps with Benevolent up and just continue running the Dark Surge. I would also think about pushing XP. Like if I'm closer to level, I would think about putting this XP card into my rotation. But that's just for gaining a little bit of power on our thing, not for currency. And then the last set of maps here. So again, we've got Dark Surge on our map. We've got Benevolent. And we don't have a lot else. We have Honest. So the way that I would run this, I'd run this Dark Surge card to put more Dark Surge. I'd run Honest. Then I'd run this Quantity one. And then I'd just run whatever I thought the best Dark Surges were. When I got to 3 maps remaining, I would run my Benevolent. And then I would just continue out with 2 more Dark Surge to end it. So you can see it's a lot of Dark Surge in there, but it makes it pretty easy to follow. You're just following your Dark Surge. I'm usually looking for Commodity first. Then the Divination cards would be like my next choice. Gear would be my 3rd choice. However, I would put Gear over Divination cards if I had the Sharp to convert items into fuel. And then as far as you can also get Dark Surge cards that like spawn an extra elite. You can get ones for bosses. The boss ones are really good. The edicts still have some value. They're not nearly what they were, but they're still pretty good. So I would actually prioritize boss stuff, then commodities, then the cards, then gear. So I hope this helps. This is just kind of like my updated plan on how I run things. As the season goes on, you kind of have to adjust your strategies and make things work to whatever the current state of the season is. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good time farming and make lots of currency.